Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. As every person who has uploaded a video in January has said, it's crazy that it's 2025 already. That being said, welcome to the very first video of the new year. Now what better way to start this monumental new beginning than to pick our very first TBR. Without further ado, let's get into picking our January TBR. So for this month, I am going back to my roots. We're going back to the very classic way of picking TBRs because it's the first one of the year. Why not? I have my TBR cup full of prompts. I did add some new ones in here. My biggest goal for this year is that I want to keep my TBR. I want to keep my reading very reasonable. Last year I hit a slump, then I started putting myself to these TBRs that were kind of insane. So I am toning down the number of books I pick for my monthly TBRs. So up until last month I was doing 7 books. I think we will be doing 6 books because 7 books just makes it too difficult. Let's get started. Let's pick book number 1. This is the very first book of the year that we're putting on a TBR. A book you think will make you cry. I have a handful of those. I'm gonna go look at my bookshelf and we'll discuss. Okay, I have 5 books. Now I cry a lot, very easily, that too. These books that I picked are in the genre that typically make people cry. I do want to preface that I did not pick up If Only I Had Told Her because If He Had Been With Me did not make me cry that much, and I've been contemplating putting down my rating for it. I rated it 4.5 and I kind of want to make it a 4-star. I'm sorry, I just was underwhelmed by that book. But I'm going on a tangent. Let's talk about these books right now. So first and foremost, I have Pack Up the Mood by Kristen Higgins. This is a book about a man who loses his wife, and she had left letters for him to read after her death. One for every month he has a letter, and it's basically him trying to live his life after losing his wife. Going around the same topic, How to Make Friends with the Dark by Kathleen Glasgow. This is the same author as Girl in Pieces. I haven't read Girl in Pieces. I do want to read Girl in Pieces. That was like a tongue twister. This book is about a girl who loses her mother, I think, and it's basically her trying to find her life again. This is navigating grief as I think she's a high schooler. And then I fell in love with Hope by Ellen Callie. This is a book about 4 friends who have a terminal illness and live in the hospital. Someone dies and they fall in love with like someone else. This has been said to make people sob. And then I have The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. This is a book about a girl who gets assaulted and I think she's like raped, and it's her navigating her life and falling in love with someone. So this is her, I think, through the 4 years of high school. And then I have My Dark Vanessa by Kate Russell. This has been on my radar for so long, but I am just terrified to read it because I know I will be so deeply hurt by it. This is about a girl who gets groomed by her teacher, and a couple years later she kind of has this self-discovery, and it goes from her past to present, how she deals with that trauma. Out of these books, I think the one that will hit me the hardest will probably be My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. So I think I am going to be picking My Dark Vanessa, and I think I will finally read this book, although I am terrified to read it. What an insane pick. First book of 2025. All right, let's get book number 2. An author you've never read. I have a couple of these. I'll probably just name them to you guys or just pick out like a top 2 because I have a lot of authors I've never touched on my TBR. So I'm gonna pick out 2 options and I'll tell you guys from those 2. I've picked 2 books, but they're like complete polar opposites. Are you ready? I'm just gonna show them to you guys. I have How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong, and then I have Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. This has been sitting on my bookshelf for so long. This is a dark romance. I am a dark romance girly, but I think this is probably one of the first like serial killer dark romances that I own because I do have Neon Gods right here. But yeah, this is basically 2 serial killers who fall in love. There's this, and then this is a second chance romance. I feel like I've talked about this book so much on my channel. Looking at these 2 books, an author I've never read, I feel like I kind of, after My Dark Vanessa, I need something fun, I need something flirty. So I think I'm gonna go with Butcher and Blackbird because this seems like it's one of those dark romance comedies. I think I'm going to go with Butcher and Blackbird for an author I've never read. Number 3. This is going really well, surprisingly. A book you've been putting off. When I think of this, I'm just going back to all my other TBR videos, and there is one that has been a repeat on so many of them. If you look at, I think, my past 3 TBR videos, they've all had One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake on them. And I think this is finally the month I get to it. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I love Olivia Blake. I don't know why I haven't read it yet, this book. I've owned it ever since summer early summer, I am going to be picking One for My Enemy by Ollie Blake for a book that I've been putting off. Okay, let's do this one. Anticipated read. I like this prompt. I'm going to pick my top 2 books that are my most anticipated reads, and I'm going to show you guys those 2. Okay, this is really exciting. I kind of want to put both of these on my TBR, but we're not doing that. We can only pick one book. First, I have a novel love story by Ashley Poston. I read The 7-Year Slip, and I absolutely fell in love. She is one of my favorite authors at this point. This is basically about a girl who gets trapped in her favorite romance novel. This is just a very interesting plot line, and I'm very, very excited to pick this up. This is one of my biggest anticipated reads from my book cart. Next, Better by Far by Hazel Hayes. I am the biggest advocate for Out of Love by Hazel Hayes. That is one of my favorite books in the entire world, and if you know anything about me, let it be that. These 2 books are both so anticipated for me. I don't know which one to pick. Should I just eeny meeny miny mo? Okay, we're gonna do that, okay? I'm gonna hold them right here so you guys can see. A novel love story it is. You know what? In a way, this is good because I have My Dark Vanessa, I have One for My Enemy, I have Butcher and Blackbird. I need something lighthearted, and Better by Far is not that. Book number 5. Okay. Why is my handwriting so bad? Book less than 4 stars. Let's go to our handy dandy Goodreads. I have every single book on my TBR in a folder on my Goodreads. Okay, I'm just gonna read them out loud to you guys. Stolen Air, After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Wish You Were Here, If Only I Told Her, All of Us Villains, I Fell in Love with Hope, The Shadows Between Us, These Violent Delights, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, Ariadne, How to Fail at Flirting, Better by Far. Do I need to continue reading? With my last prompt, I very openly said I want to put both of the books on my TBR, so I'm just gonna silently put this in the pile for my TBR, and we're gonna move on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to our last book. Okay, let this be good. Here, I'll show you guys first. Can you see it? Fantasy. I'm gonna go look at my shelves and I'm gonna pick out something and we'll talk. Wait a second, I've picked the perfect book. I was originally going through a couple options. I had The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Lemonseller. I had Ninth House Lee Bardugo. I had These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, but I saw this book on my book cart. It's perfect. I have been meaning to read this for the absolute longest time, so I might as well put it into the TBR. Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I low-key was waiting for book 3 to come out in paperback, but I want to get to Jack's story. So this is going on our January TBR. I am so excited with these picks. You guys don't understand. You know, looking at a 6-book TBR seems so much more doable than 7. I don't know what it is. I am very excited for this month. For a book that I think will make me cry, I have My Dark Vanessa. For an author I've never read, I have Butcher and Blackbird. For a book I've been putting off, I have One for My Enemy by Ollie Blake. For an anticipated read, I have a novel love story by Ashley Poston, if this would likely focus on my face. For a book less than 4 stars, I have Better by Far. And for fantasy, I have Once Upon a Broken Heart. This is a wonderful collection, if I do say so myself. I'm very excited for this reading month. I'm very excited for this year. We picked out all paperback. That's insane. So that concludes my very first 2025 video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm manifesting a great reading year for you guys, a great reading month, a great reading everything. I really hope we all meet our goals this year. I'm so excited about this TBR. I want to dive into all of these books already. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Happy New Year, and I can't wait to see what this year has in store for us. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!